roll call. We've got all of our commissioners or,
Commissioner.
well, you can tell what I've just gone through
Members.
with.
Yeah.
All the committee members here.
Call me the commission.
So,
Take a picture. It'll never happen again.
Yeah.
well, if you're at one authority, they're the commissioners, the other one's board, I mean, it's hard to keep up with. Anyway, pledge of allegiance, please.
There's nobody else.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna change it up a little bit. We're
Can I
supposed
ask you a question?
Sure.
May we pledge allegiance to the Texas flag? Have y'all ever done that?
We've never done that.
Let's do it.
I don't know it.
Do you mind? Okay, let me tell you how it goes. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. That's it.
Yep.
Okay.
We will add that. Thank you,
You're
Gerald. Normally we do an invocation here. I'd just like to do a quick moment of silence. We did lose one of our members a few weeks ago, and I'd just like to have a record of his respect for him and his service for the city of Borger. Okay, amen. All right. Consent item number 5, consider and take appropriate action on the minutes of the regular meeting of October 7th, 2021.
We've all had the opportunity to read them. Is it gonna send to
Nobody
us?
did really talking.
What's that?
They weren't listening either. Yeah.
So I make a motion, we accept the minutes as they are written.
Okay, we've got a motion to accept the minutes as written. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Right, any discussion, any changes? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion will carry. Item 6, we'll go to 6A. This is new building standards cases. A is 413 deal, which is the garage only, lot 9 and 10, block 46, original town site addition.
I think the picture's off.
Okay, so we don't have a representative for this property today. We haven't been in communication with this property owner. As the picture show, the photographer was leaning sideways or something.
Yeah, but the doors are too, so.
So
Doors are holding it up.
the garage seems like it's in danger of collapsing.
Oh, Dean, you weren't in here. What with these, John is now doing inspection and doing an inspection report for each building as far as what he has seen and what he's
Thanks,
noticed.
Shelby.
And that way we'll have a copy and we can hand the copy to the,
Individuals.
yes, to the property owners.
So here's the things we found wrong with it.
And
That is
these will
correct.
be more detailed next meeting. This is something we decided this morning, we're gonna try and get these to you guys, so.
Yeah.
This is something that takes a full
I
day
think
to
it's a good
sit
idea.
down and do it. But, back to 413 deal, it's the garage in the rear of the property. And I did receive a complaint, I just can't remember who complained on it, and it brought it to our attention, so that's why I'm presenting to the board today.
You have not been in touch with the people, or you have?
No, sir, we haven't had any communication with this property.
We sent letters.
And it's kind of tough to decipher that, isn't it?
Get a good gust of
Do
wind.
they
I think
reside
we
in the
take care of
house?
itself.
Yeah,
There's water service at the house.
yes, sir.
Gas meter.
Yes, maybe that.
Yes, we hear.
The house itself is directly across from the police department, and it's well maintained. It seems like, they take
Yeah.
care of it. The garage has been this way for quite some time, you can tell.
Well, it's tougher than everybody else, because it's still standing.
That's right.
It's probably been there since the 40s.
Speed to me today.
Only one fail, collapsing foundation.
Well, there's another one on back.
Well, I wouldn't want to get that close to it.
Garage appears to be collapsing.
Yeah. All right,
I motion we strike a match.
all right, well, I'll demolish it. You come here to copy, Gerald.
You mean you're not even gonna give the owner an opportunity to go, yeah, take it down?
I just motion we light it off.
And I make a motion it be you.
I second that motion.
Okay.
fellas gonna go with me?
So we are recommending at this time that we get a demolition order on.
Demolition order, I'll make that motion.
Okay, I've got a motion to issue a demolition order on this property. Do I have a second?
Second.
The first and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
I wouldn't say such a thing if there was anybody here.
Understand,
outside of
I
us.
understand. But I say, I nearly said it.
Don't worry, I'll never say such a thing in a public meeting.
So, all right, B.
Wait a minute, is this being recorded?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
She only hears it.
Kathy, is this recording?
He didn't answer me back that he was. I couldn't find it.
Okay, damn.
All right.
I retract. I make a motion to revise and extend my remarks. I get to do that in Congress.
I make a motion, we don't.
Okay, you are live.
Uh-oh.
All right, 6B, no, never mind, we weren't
Okay,
like,
good.
okay,
All
6B,
right,
714 Moody, Lot 15, Block 4, Thompson Edition.
Okay, we do not have a representative for this property. 714 Moody. This property's been unsecured for a long time, and it's got vagrants that are in and out of it, you know, as the months go. I had somebody, as I was over there today, taking pictures, complaining about people being in and out of there, and they wanted to know when
What
it
we're
was
gonna
gonna
do
be brought to building standards. I don't know if you guys have current pictures, but it's got a junk vehicle in the back, it's got dry vegetation, trash and debris all around the yard, it's got broken windows, it's got the works. Me and Larry looked at it today, and that's how I basically describe it, as having the works. If the roof is bad, the doors are missing. I kind of peeked in a couple of weeks ago. Some of the walls are broken up, it's got graffiti on the walls. So it's basically a place
That's
where
gonna
some of our vagrants have been just getting in and staying.
You know who owned it?
I believe.
It says Raul Garcia, but it shows no address or,
Oh, you've got it on that sheet. We
Yes,
don't
sir.
have that.
Yeah, when I was in code enforcement a few years back, even a few years before that, I've been dealing with these properties, sending letters to.
does it have water service?
No, not since 19.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was probably talking.
Last water.
We got too many pieces of paper to look at in order to decipher.
Decipher, yeah. I'm still at the cement pond, so.
No, that's ciphering. That's not decipher, that's ciphering.
I'll make a motion to demo.
Okay. Got a motion and a second to demolish this, to order a demolition order. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, we get to item 7, which is continued cases pending commission action. See, it says commission there, see? All right, 7C.
You've been vindicated.
602 West 3rd Street, Lot 11, Block 20, Thompson Edition.
We don't have a representative for this property either. This property we discussed in the last meeting, I'm sorry, and pretty much same condition. We haven't heard from him since we had the last meeting.
They think they're done.
They,
Sir?
Yeah, they think they're done.
Seriously.
They covered the wall, they covered that window up.
no, during the last meeting, we did tell them that the windows weren't covered by code, and we were gonna
Well,
expect
I mean,
more.
I know, but they were like, oh, all we gotta do is sweep up and we're finished. We're good with it.
Yeah.
Really?
You're like,
We did address the vehicles being sold out there, that they weren't zoned to sell vehicles in that area, and they still have the vehicles for sale there. Larry and I went by this morning and looked at it, and we decided that, we did want to see an engineered plan for how they were gonna secure the front of that building to make it safe again. And we discussed, getting an estimate from them on replacing the roof, doing the roof repair. I don't know if you guys remember in the last meeting, he did say that there was a tree or something growing inside of the building. So at that point, he did admit himself that the roof was in bad shape, that there was parts of the roof missing. So we have not heard from him, like I said, since the last meeting.
And this was the this guy that owns it is the one that has the hotel next door, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I believe his name is Patel.
Also board on this, and I want to jump in here and say this because, you know, if we don't get the engineer report and an estimate on the roof and a plan for them when they're gonna do that, you know, I highly recommend the demolition. Now, I do recommend maybe giving them a little bit more time to come up with this stuff before we do this, because it is a commercial building, but just like John's saying, if a tree is growing inside, it's been like that for a while. I don't see how, anything could be worth doing
That
anything.
Being
but-
commercial, that'll still be a asbestos survey before you.
Yeah,
The only receipt is, I know in the concrete and various things, it's a cinder block building, so.
Yeah. But I think you still have to have, even though it is, I guess that's.
yeah, I don't have a clue what's inside, so, you know,
I don't know if I've ever seen the thing on it.
or if there's any window caulk left.
Well, and
I
I did
remember when
ask
it
the
was an
gentleman
office
about
building, way back when.
Way
yeah.
back, yeah.
when I asked him about the interior at the last meeting, he said that they haven't even been in because they feel like it's unsafe themselves.
Wow.
So, you know, I mean,
Well, I don't think we should give them too much more time.
I agree.
30 days?
Next meeting?
I would say, I want to make a motion that we give them to the next meeting to have more information about what they're going to do, an engineer's report, or whatever y'all request, and that we'll make a decision from that point on.
Well, we will send them a notification about the meeting, but I'll personally go by next week sometimes and visit with them because I'd like to address the vehicles out there.
Okay, we've got a motion to push this to the next meeting, or look at it again next meeting, and we would like to see have an idea what they plan on doing, how they're gonna repair it, a roof repair, and engineer drawings, correct?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. Got a motion and a second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we will motion carry that peppy. Working over, Holden. All right, we're gonna push D down one, so we're gonna go to E. 301 to 309 East 8th Street, which is lot 17 and 18, block 10, original town site addition.
Okay, so we don't have a representative for this property either. I did speak to the owner's daughter, and she stated yesterday that they had somebody who was interested in the property and come by and then knocked on the door, but they hadn't made contact with them. Now, the gentleman that I think they're referring to did make contact with us, and we had a meeting with him. He would like to purchase them and rehab them and get them back, you know, up as rental properties. They're cinder block, it's a cinder block building, so it's pretty solid. The roof was in pretty bad shape. He says he has contacts that are family members that own certain businesses as far as roofing and, you know, just in the construction business. So he's trying to reach out to her and see what price she'll shoot him, but they haven't given him a price yet. So I think what we'd like to do at this time is what we're recommending is to review it at the next meeting to give him time to get a hold of her and see if they've worked something out.
Was he at the last meeting?
I think he was, yeah.
Yes.
Shelby,
Yeah,
do you
there was
remember?
one here.
He was.
He saw him.
Yeah, he did mention that at the last meeting.
I'll make that motion. We'll look at it in our next meeting.
Okay, we got
I'll second it.
got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
What's the,
Know what his binder is.
what's the reason for the owner not showing up?
Well, she owns the next properties that we have, and I'll touch
Yeah.
base on the reason on this next one we're talking about.
Okay.
All right, so next on the list would be item 7F, 118 East First Street, lot 12 and through 17, block 4I subdivision. Wasn't this, isn't this the Reynolds gal? She came in a few meetings ago.
She's been in 2 meetings.
Okay.
Daughter has,
Mama.
Cynthia's.
She called in for the
Okay,
last.
I'm sorry.
For this property,
Last meeting.
the one you're talking about, the one we're on.
And the
Oh,
meeting-
and the apartment one.
Okay.
Yeah,
This will be the,
by the way,
Did you ever look at the north block of those things?
this will be the third meeting
of
they
the
didn't
other apartments?
Yeah. Yeah. I looked at them the other day. It's unsalvageable. It's just total disaster.
It is.
Oh, my God, go look.
On the north end?
You'll be stunned. It looks as bad as the south, if not worse. The roof's caved in, not just, I mean, it's collapsed. Wow. It's in a terrible condition.
So this does belong to Miss Reynolds, the owner of the previous property. And the daughter did call me, I guess yesterday, day before, I can't remember exactly. But we did speak and I was pretty upfront with her about, they needed to get something done pretty quick. 'Cause we've been dealing with these properties for quite a while. They haven't made, this will be the third meeting they didn't make. I explained to her that this would ultimately be the board's decision on what was gonna happen with this property. She said they haven't done anything over there, and they weren't probably gonna do anything over there because her mom was sick, and they didn't have the money to take care of these properties. So at that point, I did tell her they needed to at least get them cleaned up, boarded up, keep people out of them. And she said that she didn't see the reason for doing that, because they would just tear the boards down. I told her you just gotta keep putting boards up, because that's part of being a property owner. So it sounds like they don't have the finances to take care of it at this point. Before we hung up, she mentioned something about trying to get a realtor, and she called me later on in the day saying that they had got a local realtor to try and get them, up for sale for them. But I did tell her, that we could only work so long with that because they've been this way for years. So I think our recommendation at this time is a demolition order on the property.
Now, wasn't there a couple of houses right there together?
There's several.
There's several of them right there
It's a
together.
disaster.
Right there, but
Yeah, they're
they're
probably
just
five,
south of
four or
the
five.
OB.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess.
But
Now
if we
you've got
take,
gymnastics.
They've probably been like that for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
correct me if I'm wrong, but if we take this house down, we cannot take the others down for a period of what, a year?
For a year, or we have to treat them like commercial property, which means we would have to do a space survey.
Who, remind me again, who is the commission that you have to talk to about that rule, that you can't demolish another one for a year? Who is it that?
Texas Department of Health is who would oversee me.
Okay. I'm gonna,
Brett Nair is the person to talk to.
Brett,
I'd be glad to give you.
you know
That
what?
sounds like a pawn job.
I would love to talk to him. I don't know that I'll get anywhere whatsoever with him, but I'd like to talk to him, and then I'd like to see what other courses of action that we might have around him, like a higher-ups. Because to me, it's just absurd that we can't do more than that in a year. It makes no sense.
It's not only a state law, it's a federal law.
No, that still don't make sense.
Well,
And that was
I will still like to look into it, so if you will give me his contact information, I'd like to do some investigation. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Larry, originally, wasn't this to stop a developer from just going in and eliminating the neighborhood and taking it over?
Well,
We
that's,
should be able to demolish
that's
every one
part
of
of
those
it.
houses at the same time.
the other part of it is
Public safety.
when you tear something down that does have asbestos in it, then they're trying to limit the amount of asbestos containing materials that get spread out in one area, in a certain amount of time. The more that someone gets exposed to something, the higher chance of, the risk of
Do
asbestos.
they know where we
containing
live?
Well, my question is,
If they get it wet, it doesn't go to the air.
if you drew a circle around that area, you're not gonna find a lot of people
Well,
living in there
that's
because
true.
you've got
That's
commercial
true.
behind it.
So,
I mean,
and when you-
Tipton's is behind it.
when you do it under their regulations, that's part of the requirements is to keep it wet.
Yeah.
But then you have to,
I just think there has to be some kind of common sense involved here too.
I will tell you that Brett is gonna be your number one cheerleader,
Really?
but his hands are tied.
By who?
By the feds in the state.
Right.
The
Well-
feds dictate it, and then they buy into it.
Okay, so it's an EPA rule?
Yeah.
And
Okay,
probably OSHA
I
has.
want to find out exactly what the rule is and exactly what the state code is on this issue. I want to know exactly what the codes are, what they say.
Yeah, but
'Cause I'm gonna
Brett
review
has
it.
all that information ready to hand right to you.
What's his last name?
Brett Nair.
How do you spell his last name?
I'll have to get it off my phone.
It's
I'll give it to you after the meeting.
N-A-U-E-R,
N-A-U-E-R.
and I think it's a Nor. I think last time we,
Yeah,
because we've been calling him the wrong name
No.
all these years.
Well, that made an impression.
Yeah.
N-A-U-E-R.
No, we actually, we got a good relationship.
I just think it bears investigating. I mean, I may find out exactly what you already know, but I'd still like to look at it.
Yeah.
No one
I don't
can
blame
help us.
you. I mean,
No, he's a good guy.
me and the city and every other city in the state of Texas would cheer you on,
Wow.
because it ties
That's just
everybody's
stupid.
hands.
Well, you know, we just voted on a proposition about blighted areas, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is blight.
Yeah,
Correct.
especially that area.
Yeah, like I say, there's several buildings there that are in the same condition.
I remember when people still lived in them.
I did too.
You
On
do?
one point on Front
Yeah,
Street,
I
we
do.
had 12
I didn't know you were
neighbors.
that old. You
So
don't
you
look that
figure
old.
one a
then.
year, that'd take you 12 years to get
Yeah.
that cleaned up over.
Was that right before the turn of the century?
Yeah.
Gerald, you and I are the same dang age, so there's no reason for you to even pop off stuff like that. You were tagging behind me. But yes, it was the turn of the century, just to answer your question.
I meant the last.
Yeah.
Which century?
18th century.
Sir, demo? You want to make a motion to demo? Okay, we've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Yeah,
Second.
Spanky seconded it.
All right, motion is second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion will carry.
Wow.
If I can write my name. All right, we'll go to the one that just skips down, 7D, which is 1425 Marigold, Lot 7 in the west 3 feet of Lot 8, Block 9, Yucca Park Edition.
I've got a question. You got pictures in here for a place on Moody, is that right? Is that what, did we go through that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
On that little white house?
yeah, we got.
Then I tell you what, I need to find something else to do with my life. I can't follow anything.
Back to that turn of the century.
I am having senior moments.
You have a writing stick. You can say, yes, we did this one.
Let's see.
Okay, so we don't have a representative for this property. Actually, we're gonna call Ms. Pope. But, she's gonna be the representative for the property, and we have, I mean, we've actually made no progress over there since it's come before us. There's been a lot of people that they've talked about wanting to buy it. So she just called me right before I walked in today saying they had 3 more prospects. She did tell me that the retaining wall has scared a few of them away that have called her. I have people calling me about this property, wanting to know how to buy it, but when they get over there, they see the notice on the door and they ask me why, and I tell them, and we don't hear from them again.
Right.
But, she's on the road from Amarillo, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to call her and see if we make any progress. I'll let her know. So if you guys can't hear her through the microphone, let me know and I'll just take it up there like we did last time.
We can't keep acting like this. Gerald's gonna say, I don't want on this board anymore.
Ms. Coper?
Yes.
Hey, it's John Matoya.
Hey, John.
So we have the board here and they're ready for you to address them. I'm gonna take the phone up closer to them so they can hear you better, okay?
Okay, that'd be great, thank you. Okay, can you all hear me?
I got them up.
I can hear her.
Go ahead, Ms. Coper. Yep.
Okay, yes, I just was gonna give you an update on the house. It's showing like a hotcake. In fact, we had 3 showings today and I just got another call, so we've got another showing today on it. Of course, we're informing everyone, you know, I've told you before, of the issues with the house and what they're gonna need to address, which is why it's priced so low. And anyway, I think we've got a couple people that are very interested in it. There was one man that looked at it last week. He was actually gonna come to the hearing today. I don't know if he has made it, but I think he was just wanting to, kind of see where y'all were on that retaining wall and asking if the city was going to help any, since there's some issues over there with those houses with the retaining walls. And of course, I had no idea, so,
As in-
I didn't know about that, but I think he was going to try to attend today.
Do y'all help with the training walls that belong to an individual?
No, not personal property.
No, we can't do personal property on thing.
No.
The city can't.
No. Yeah, that'd be up to whoever, to either yourself or whoever purchased the property to come up with it.
Okay, so it's totally up to the property owner.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah, the city cannot touch personal
Okay.
property, no.
Okay, now let me ask you another question, because I've had a couple of people ask this. Does it have to be a concrete wall, or can they do could they do like a, step down and do it like in
Timbers?
gradually comes down?
Terrace it?
Yes, terrace it, that's it.
Yeah, we would probably want an engineer design on that.
An engineer design.
Yeah, we need an engineered design, some type of, you could terrace it, but need to be engineered or stamped by an engineer to make sure that it was, that it would
That
meet.
it's gonna hold.
Yeah, to make sure it would hold and it meets the standards, because,
Okay, absolutely. Okay, I can pass that on to them. And I know I have one guy that was, actually a couple of them talked about using cinder blocks and reinforcing those.
yeah.
And so again, I guess it just comes down to an engineer giving approval on that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Well, the showings are really good.
Good.
Actually, a couple of them, of course, we get a few people that come because they just think that, you're getting a house at this price
Right.
for, just because. And they have no idea what they need to do. But we've got some serious lookers right now, and I think all 4 of them looking today, they're fully aware, know what it's going to entail. So I expect that we'll probably have another contract on it here pretty quickly.
Can you tell me what the price is on the property?
Yes, we reduced it down to 52,000. It was at 60, and we went ahead and reduced it to 52.
Ms. Cofer,
Yes.
are the taxes still behind like they were?
Yes, I think it's about 26,000 that's owed, and the sellers are pushing really hard to get a contract to get that taken care of before we're faced with, going into a new year. And we have been upfront with everybody. We've told them that, they don't have to worry about the taxes. That's something the title company will take care of at closing as part of the debt, by the seller. And, so we're making sure we're going to have that covered, that they will get, clear title.
Okay, so if the sale goes through, whatever the taxes are taken out of before the current owner gets their money.
Absolutely, yes, and that's already been figured into the net sheet for the seller, and because we have to make sure that the new owner's going to get clear title to the property. We don't, they're not inheriting a problem, and so everybody's being told that, so they're fully aware.
So if it was sold for the asking price of 52, they would net 26,000 then, if all the taxes are paid. Is that what you're saying?
Right after closing cost, of course.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. We're trying to net them just a little bit, just to help with, his, have a little bit to, help with his cancer treatments and, move them forward. But yeah, everybody knows, exactly what they're looking at. And I've also told them that, because of the retaining wall, that would need to be the first thing that they address. But also, it's interesting, we actually have, we've had several people come in from California that have looked at it and considered it. We've actually got one guy right now. I've sent him all the information, but we've got 4 active showings today on it, and we're getting showings every day. And we are trying to vet these guys a little bit because, some people just think that, oh, well, I can get this house and just have to pay. We're letting them know that this is the kind of money you're looking at, to get it where it needs to be. And, and then on the inside, because on the inside, the house isn't bad. It needs a good cleaning at this point. And probably, somebody's going to come in. They're going to, do fresh paint and, maybe put in some new flooring and things like that. But even from the foundation, if you go inside and you look, it's got more the normal crack that you would have on a house, so it does tell you there's a foundation issue, but it's not horrible. It's definitely fixable, and that foundation just needs to be stabilized. And I'm sure that was probably because of the retaining wall.
Did you get I think you told me last time you got an estimate on leveling that foundation, repairing it?
Yes, on the foundation, they've told us between 20 and 30,000. We're trying to get another opinion, and the guys just haven't made it out there yet because we really want to have a second opinion on it just to really nail it down. But I'm just telling people it's probably going to be between 20 and 30. I count on the 30.
So, Ms.
The
Culper,
brick back and everything.
I'm just curious, what is your estimate to get this property, back to code?
Okay, so a roof, I'm figuring, $10,000 to put a roof on that house, and just a good composition roof. And figuring, I would estimate 25 to 30,000 on that foundation. The retaining wall is kind of the kicker because we don't, haven't found anybody that can actually give us a bid on that. And so that's the thing that is questionable. So I don't know if we're looking at 10,000, 20,000. So really just leaving that up to the potential buyers to determine. And most of the guys that are looking at it seriously are in construction, and so they're not afraid of it.
Well, you're saying you've got 4 active today, and you're
Yes,
continuing to
or
show?
actual showings. In fact, one guy is there right now. He just called me.
Okay. Well, the fact that it is being actively shown, let's go.
Yeah.
I will make a motion, we look at it next meeting, go from there.
I'll second
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And I'll keep John posted on how we're coming along as far as, like getting a contract.
Okay,
Cool.
Okay.
all right.
I really appreciate y'all working with us on this. It's, I figure we're gonna get something. So, because even with the issues, these people are seriously interested. They're going over there, taking a look at it. So I think we'll get it done here pretty quickly.
All right.
And the other guy still wants it. He's just still in the same boat,
Yeah.
having his money freed up.
Yeah.
So at least we've got people that aren't, they're not afraid of it.
That's a good thing. All right.
All right.
Alrighty.
Thank you, man. Thanks for all the information.
Hey, you bet. Thank you.
Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right, and now we.
Vote on that motion.
Yep, we got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Next is,
This property
motion to adjourn.
came to us because of the retaining
second.
wall, correct?
Yeah,
How come
originally,
there's no pictures of the retaining wall in
thank you, board.
I think in one of the first
Original
meetings,
ones?
there was, as we started looking around,